Well, I actually said three things at PMQs. I said, first of all, we should be reminding President Trump who are the real friends of America over many, many years, because he seems to have forgotten that we, the allies in the war, have been friends of America ever since. But I was also saying we should prepare a plan for retaliatory tariffs, given what he's doing, the impact it's having on our close colleagues in our Commonwealth and Europe, and on our own companies here in the UK. And as a starting idea for such a plan, I suggested tariffs on American electric vehicles, obviously Tesla. Obviously, the owner of Tesla is Elon Musk, that's no secret, and he's camping out in the Oval Office. And I think Trump and Musk need to hear that the UK is going to stand up to them.
My jaw dropped when I read President Trump's statement this afternoon about his conversation with Putin, praising Putin, not just the history of Russia as an ally of America, in the war, but also just saying how great it was that he was taking the call. Trump's about to sell out Ukraine, isn't he?
I'm really sad I share your huge concern and surprise at this. First of all, I don't think the future of Ukraine and European security should be decided in a closed room by Putin and Trump. The UK should have a voice. Zelensky should have a voice. Our European allies should have a voice. And can we stop it? Well, that's the reason I asked the question to the Prime Minister.
Keir Starmer is going through all sorts of contortions so as not to make a choice between the EU and America. You think the time is now for him to show that he is closer to our European allies?
The reason I made a speech, even before the inauguration, calling on a UK-EU customs union is, A, that shows our European colleagues we want to work with them. It is a plan B against all these threats of tariffs. And I also think it would help us negotiate with Trump. And you may not have read it, but The Art of the Deal, President Trump's bestseller, talks about how you do deals. And he basically says that if you see weakness in the other guy, if you smell desperation, then he walks all over you.
So you're saying that Keir Starmer looks desperate and weak when it comes to Trump?
Well, I think the Conservative Party, in their position, they look weak. I think Reform would lick the boots of President Trump.
But is Keir Starmer showing enough backbone in relation to Donald Trump? And
I think, rather too like other opposition parties, the Prime Minister's, the government, is not being strong enough.
Many would say joining the customs union, particularly when it comes to the interests of British business, is an unsatisfactory halfway house. Why aren't you calling for membership of the single market?
Well, we set out our plan, like we did last time, with the ultimate goal of getting back in the single market. But we acknowledged, and I still acknowledge in your programme, and that's actually quite difficult. It's actually more difficult, I think, than getting back into the customs union. But
why? Because you are frightened of the Farage campaign on immigration?
No, not at all. I just think we've got to rebuild trust. And I speak to European colleagues, and they say that the trust in the United Kingdom is at an all-time low. And that's really, really sad. But I'm afraid the Conservatives undermined our relationship so badly. It will take time to recover. And, I'm afraid those friends of mine who also believe in Europe, who would like us to go further and faster, I think they've got to read the room in Europe. And what we're trying to do in rebuilding that relationship, which I think we could do on multiple ways in our plan that we put at the general election, could be fast-tracked by this UK-EU customs union, a new trade deal with the EU. The trade deal that the Conservatives agreed is hugely damaging. A new trade deal along the lines we're talking about would be fantastic.